Hello students, I am Professor Deepak Patil from Automobile Engineering Department. Today in this video I will going to discuss you the 4-stroke compression ignition engine. This engine is also known as the diesel engine. The 4-stroke C.I engine is similar to the 4-stroke S.I engine, but the C.I engine has a much compression ratio as compared to SI engine. The compression ratio of SI engine is around 6 to 10, while the compression ratio for the CI engine from 16 to 20. CI engine is provided with the injectors and the high fuel pump, and the engine does not require the spark plug and the carburetor. Now, the 4 strokes for the CI engine are as follows. First stroke is a suction stroke. During the suction stroke, only the air is inducted and the piston moves from top dead center to bottom dead center. During this stroke, the inlet valve is open and exhaust valve is closed. The crankshaft rotates from 0 to 180 degree. Now I will going to explain you with the help of diagram. As you can see, these are the 4 strokes of the CI engine. This one is the suction stroke. First of all, I will tell you the difference of the SI and CI on the engine components. In the SI engine, there is a spark plug over here, and the second difference is that through the intake port during the suction stroke, air fuel mixture is inducted. But in the compression ignition engine, they uses the injector for fuel injection, and only the air is inducted through the inlet valve during the suction stroke. This is the major difference in SI and CI engine. And the third difference is that higher compression ratio for the compression ignition engine. Now for the suction stroke, during the suction stroke, the piston moves from top dead center to bottom dead center. Thus suction stroke occurs. During the suction stroke occurs, inlet valve get open and only the air is inducted inside the cylinder. Crank rotates from 0 degree to 180 degree and the exhaust valve remain closed. In this way, this is the suction stroke. Now, next stroke is the compression stroke. During the compression stroke, the piston moves from bottom dead center to top dead center. In this stroke, the air is compressed into the clearance volume, and the crankshaft rotates from 180 degree to 360 degree, and both the valves, namely inlet valve and outlet valve, remain closed. Here, this is the compression stroke of the CI engine. During the compression stroke, piston moves from bottom dead center to top dead center. The air which is inducted during the suction stroke is highly pressurized and compressed into the clearance volume. The clearance volume is the volume which is above the piston surface and below the cylinder head. The crankshaft rotates from 180 degree to 360 degree, and both the valves, inlet valve and exhaust valve, remain closed during this stroke. Third stroke is known as expansion stroke. It is also known as working stroke or the power stroke. At the end of the compression stroke, diesel fuel is injected into the hot compressed air. Due to the high compression ratio, the temperature at the end of the compression stroke is sufficiently high to self-ignite the diesel. Thus, the power is obtained after self-ignition of the fuel. Both the valves are remain closed and crank rotate from 360 to 540 degree. I will explain you with the help of diagram. Here, as you can see, this is the diagram for the power stroke. During the power stroke, at the end of the compression stroke, the complete air is compressed in the clearance volume, and thus the high temperature and the pressure is generated inside the cylinder or combustion chamber. Thus, at the end of the compression stroke and at the starting of the power stroke, the injector injects the fuel inside the combustion chamber. As you can see, the conical spray pattern of the fuel. When the injector injects the fuel, the high temperature and the pressure inside the combustion chamber ignite the fuel due to the high temperature and the pressure. Thus, the self-ignition of the fuel occurs during this stroke. Thus, power is obtained and piston moves from top dead center to bottom dead center due to the explosion of the fuel. Here the crank rotates from 360 degree to 540 degree and both the valves are remain closed. And the last stroke is the exhaust stroke. In this last stroke, the pistons start moving from bottom dead center to top dead center and the greater part of the burned gases are escapes. Here, exhaust valve is open and inlet valve remain closed. At this stroke, the crank rotates from 540 degree to 720 degrees. Here, this is the diagram for the exhaust stroke. After the power stroke, exhaust stroke occurs. Piston moves from BDC to TDC. During this stroke, inlet valve remains closed and exhaust valve opens. The burned gases are escaped through the exhaust valve and the crank rotates from 540 degree to 720 degrees. Due to the higher pressure in the cycle of operation of the C.I engine, C.I engine has more sturdy than the spark ignition engine for the same output. This results in a C.I engine being heavy in the weight than the spark ignition engine. However, the thermal efficiency of the C.I engine is more than the S.I engine. In this way, I had explained you all the 4 strokes of the 4-stroke compression ignition engine. There may be a question which can be asked in the examination that explain the cycle of operation for C.I engine. For that type of question, you had to write this complete solution which I had explained in this video. I hope you must understand this topic properly. If any one of the students have any kind of query, kindly comment me in the comment box so that I can answer to your questions. Thank you.